On March 13th.
On March 13th.
On March 13th.
I'm voting for Ron Paul.
I'm voting for Ron Paul.
I'm voting for Ron Paul.
I'm voting for Ron Paul because he's a strict constitutionalist.
He is the only candidate that makes every decision based off of his own morals and the Constitution.
I believe Ron Paul is the most level-headed and consistent candidate.
The issue of the 2012 election will be economics. And Ron Paul has written a book, literally, on free market economics. He's been preaching these principles for 30 years, and he's got the record to back it up.
He's a champion of the Constitution, a champion of capitalism. He's very consistent in his voting record.
Today I was reading the Wall Street Journal, and the article said most GOP candidates' fiscal proposals are likely to increase the federal debt. A report concluded saying only Ron Paul's plan may trim the nation's growing deficit. Economically, Ron Paul's been preaching the same thing to America for over 25 to 30 years.
I'm voting for Ron Paul because he's going to end the Fed.
The Federal Reserve is not a federal institution. It's a group of private bankers who dictate our monetary policy, which is unconstitutional. They've devalued our currency by 95% over the last 100 years. It's also concurred with a period of almost unending warfare.
Ron Paul is the only one advocating a sensible foreign policy and not one of needless aggression.
All the other GOP candidates have all voiced their opinions that we need to go to war with Iran. War with Iran, war with Iran, war with Iran. We do not need a war with Iran. This country is crippled by the wars we're already in and the war we just most recently pulled out of.
He's the only one who would be willing to apply a golden rule.
I look at Ron Paul the same way I look at Gandhi or Martin Luther King. Somebody who has a strong, consistent idea that they do not waver on at all, of peace and freedom.
Ron Paul has strictly said his opinion that America needs to stay out of these foreign wars. Why should we be at war with these foreign countries when we have so many problems on the home front that need to be addressed first?
If you have heard from many Americans that Ron Paul is a crazy old man from Texas, then I urge you not to believe this. I urge you to read the issues for yourself, read his website, read his platform, read what he's running on, and listen to his answers in each of the debates and see for yourself if non-imperialistic military, constitutional values, and free markets mean that Ron Paul's crazy, that I'm crazy too.
It's time to end the Fed, it's time to elect Ron Paul, and it's time to restore liberty and prosperity in this country.
He is Mr. Capitalism, he is Mr. Constitution. Do me and everyone else a favor and vote for him on March 13th.
Get out and be a voter. Make your voice heard. Legitimize your institutions.
Get out and be a voter.
Get out and be a voter.
Get out and be a voter.